يا ايش فيكم ساكتين؟
نفتح خروج مثلا، خلي الدكتور يجي من الحلقة.
ما ادري شوفكم.
ما له داعي تفتح السالفة ويدخل عليك فجأة.
اي والله، خلي اذا جاء نفتح كلنا.
انا خاف يكون مضيع رايح للادوب ويحسب هناك المحاضرة. مصيبة.
بس ما احنا محصلين رابط شو اسمه ادوبي.
يعني
اذا
خلنا
عندك
ساكتين،
مرسله في الجروب بالله.
خلنا ساكتين، ما ودي اتكلم يعني، عرفت؟ شو ما نجيب العيد.
والله العيد اللي بيجي بالاختبار. يلا
ما تبغون يعني محاضرة؟
لا بالعكس نبي نستفيد والله. انا مجهز كتاب
الحين
كامل.
لو جاء الدكتور لازم افك الميوت ولا عادي؟
نرحب فيه وكذا
احسن.
لازم.
والله ولا المدير رحب فيه.
طيب احد يكلم، احد عنده رقم؟
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
السلام.
Welcome everyone.
السلام ورحمة
عليكم السلام.
TU170. I assume everyone here from 1308. Is it clear? Do you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, your voice is loud and clear.
Yes.
I'm here.
Yes.
Okay. So as everyone knows now about the quizzes, now the timetable for the quizzes have been changed, and you can go to the LMS and can see how the timetable for each section is allocated. I'm going to share my screen to you so we can log in to the LMS. Excuse me, everyone can mute the mic, please, because you can hear, and other students cannot hear clearly because the. Yes, everyone, just mute the mic. If you want to say anything, unmute the mic and go ahead. We are in a discussion, so everyone is allowed to contribute with anything. Now we will just have 20 minutes or less than that to demonstrate how the quizzes will continue, and we will talk about the new calendar. So there is an update for the course calendar, so you can see how the marking criteria is going through the activities, the quiz, and the final exam. So first, let's go ahead and see how the LMS. Do you see my screen now? The web browser?
Yes, we do.
Yes. So everyone just go through the web browser and try to log in to find the new updates about the course calendar and also about the quiz timetable. So as you can see, I'm logged in. I go to TU170. This is the main dashboard for the course. As you can see, there is some updates about the quiz. This is quiz 2. This is a new update about quiz 2. Quiz 2, the date will be 17th of October. So today is 13th. So in 4 days, 4 days left for the second quiz, and it will be only for 10 minutes. Also, there is a timetable for each session. As you can see, group 1 and group 2, which we have 1308 within group 2 sessions, and it will be between 7:30 to 8 p.m.
Doctor,
Yes,
how many questions for the 10 minutes?
6 questions.
6 questions like the exam before?
Yes, like the previous quiz.
Okay.
It is the same as the previous quiz. The only difference is that the previous quiz used to be during the class, during the lecture, but now it will be out of the lecture time. You have a timetable here. You find your section and find the time between 7:30 and 8. Quiz 2 will open. The link quiz 2 will be open. As before, this is quiz 1, this link. All of you already tried quiz 1, and for quiz 1 it is open, but for quiz 2, this link will be open according to the timetable here. So find your section number, find the time, and wait between that time 30 minutes. 7:30, this link will be open, and you can start between 7:30 to 8 on 17th of October. Once you start, you will only have 10 minutes to finish the 6 multiple choices questions. So any question about the quiz?
Excuse me, doctor.
Yes.
And it says only 4 questions.
Maybe the previous one you did 6 questions, yeah?
Yeah, it was 6.
Just let me check because I didn't check.
In the schedule, in the instructions.
There are 4. Yes, exactly. Yeah, so there are 4 instead of 6 as before, and 6 marks per quiz. Yeah, as you can see, you can find your way through the instructions. Just to remind you about the quiz, about the timetable for the quiz. So, any other question?
So it is only 4 questions.
Yes.
Okay.
Doctor, just unit 2?
Yes, each quiz is about the previous meeting. So once the previous quiz, which is quiz one was about meeting 1, which was about 2 chapters. So in quiz 2 will be about meeting 2. So you can find the slides for each meeting here. Quiz 1, you already finished quiz 1, and it was about meeting 1. Quiz 2 will be about meeting 2, and so on. If you have any question during studying the meeting slides, you can go to the ebook. Everyone knows how to go to the electronic book. Okay, there is a calendar here. You can download the calendar. Yes, you can see there is some updates for the calendar. We already finished meeting 1, which was about chapter 1 and 2. Also meeting 2 we have covered.
Mr. Mansour,
Yes.
we can't see the calendar.
You can't see the calendar. Okay, wait.
We only see elements.
Okay, thank you for mentioning that. Yes, I'm going to share the file now. Okay, this is the file I downloaded through the LMS. As you can see, you have 6 meetings: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. We already finished meeting 1, meeting 2, and now today we're going to talk about meeting 3. So quiz 2 will be about meeting 2. And you can study these chapters from the slides. Also, if you have any question, you can go to the electronic book. So you have the quizzes now, and also there are online activities. Everyone solved online activity 1, I assume that.
Yes.
So you know how to go to the electronic book. You now have online activity 2 lifted for you, and it will be on the deadline for it will be on the 7th of November. Okay, so the marketing criteria will be TMA consists of 20 marks, which will be the 2 online activities. Also, each activity carries 10 marks.
لا كويس بس
Excuse me. Anyone just mute, everyone mute the mic. If you want to talk, just unmute it so that we can have a neat conversation, a neat discussion. So the 20 marks will be for the TMA, which are the 2 online activities. Everyone will carry on 10 marks. In-class quizzes will be 30 marks. And as you know that there are 5 quizzes. So they are divided to these 5 quizzes. Final exam will be 50 marks. This is for the calendar, the course calendar, and everyone can have a look at it in his time. Now we will continue to have a look to the CLMS for the ebook. Everyone knows how to go to the electronic book. Any question about electronic book? Okay. All right then. Good luck with the quizzes. And for the online activity, never forget the online activity. There will be no makeup whether a quiz or online activity. All of them only you have only 1 attempt for the quizzes and the online activity. So today we will continue the meeting, and we will talk about meeting 3, which is chapter 5 and 6, I guess. Anyone remember which chapter we are in meeting 2? Okay, we will have chapter 5 and 6, yes. So we already covered through 2 meetings, meeting 1 and 2, and today we will continue discussing about learning and information technology in chapter 5 and 6. In chapter 5, we will talk about how to become a critical thinker and a creative problem solver, how to solve a problem in a critical thinking way. Also, chapter 6 will talk about excel at taking tests, how to be excellent while taking tests. Chapter 5, to become a critical thinker and a creative problem solver. The learning outcomes through this chapter will be how to identify the essentials of critical thinking, how to know what are the essentials of the to be a critical thinker. Also, we will explain the problem solving process, how problem solving going through process, through stages. Also, we will identify critical thinking and problem strategies, the strategies of solving problems, describe common fallacies, policies, and errors in judgment. Also explain the importance and of creativity in problem solving, how to be creative in solving the problems. How to identify problem-solving strategies for mathematics and science. identify ways to enable creativity, how to find creativity while you are solving a problem.
Doctor, sorry for interrupting.
Yes.
When will you open the activity 2?
Sorry?
The activity 2.
Yes.
When will you open it?
You can see through the course calendar, there is a timetable for that. And also you can log into the ebook and you can find the online activity and the due date. It's called due date for that. I assume I just read it a few minutes ago. It was 7th of November. I'm not sure, but you can check through the course calendar or through the ebook.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So let's start knowing essential critical thinking skills. So what is critical thinking? Anyone knows or have an idea about critical thinking? Can contribute and have a discussion? Please go ahead. Anyone have an idea about solving a problem in a critical thinking way, or what is critical thinking? Can contribute in the discussion.
It's like to be a creative thinking, creative mind.
Yes. Logical, rational, systematic, creative in a process, in a system way. Okay. Why we need critical thinking? Anyone give a reason that why you need to use critical thinking in solving problem? You need it for what? Why you just go ahead and solve the problem without any systematic thought process, without any logical? What will happen? While critical thinking help us to understand, analyze, evaluate information to solve a problem, so you need a critical thinking to solve problem in the best solution. So you find the best solution. Critical thinking help you to find the best solution for a problem. Problem solving is creating or identifying a solution to a question or a problem. Decision making is determining or selecting the best or most effective answer. As you can see, it is all about finding the best solution, but in a critical thinking way. We will talk about Bloom's taxonomy, which is a hierarchy you can follow from the bottom to the top, which will give you critical thinking skills you can follow to find the best solution for a problem. You start from remembering, then remembering information about the problem, understanding the information, explain the information in your own words, applying, you apply the information in practical, analyze the result of the application or the process of applying the solution, evaluating, you make the judgment of the information, the accuracy, the quality of the solution, creating information to connect with other information. We can follow an example while we are following these steps, critical thinking skills. For example, you have any problem you want to solve, like, for example, you have an issue right now while you are watching TV and you want to use the remote control, but the remote control is not working. So the problem, what is the problem while you are facing this situation? Just to do some practicing now in a critical thinking. So you have a TV, you wanted to watch the TV, but you don't have a remote control. So what is the situation here? What is the problem you are facing in this example?
Yes, mister.
Yes.
I cannot interact with the TV without a remote control.
Yes. So what do you want?
I need to get a remote control.
Yeah, you need to fix this issue
I need
to control the TV. You need to control the TV. So at the moment, you don't have the remote control. And you have this problem. You think you remember information. You call the information that you need to control the TV. You have a broken remote control. For example, the TV brand is LG, for example. Yes. Then you understand and you explain in your own words what is the problem. Then the solution. Sometimes you can figure the solution. Later on, we will discuss about how to ask question to find some information. For example, you ask one of your friends through the WhatsApp, for example, about your situation, and one of your friends give you a suggested solution about installing an app in your mobile phone that would help you to fix the situation, to solve the problem. So you type in this information, understand them, explain them in your discussion. Then the third step, what do you do? Anyone can contribute about applying. How do you contribute? You collect information. Now you apply this information in practical. So what is the third step? Some of your friends give you the information that you can install an application in your mobile phone which can control your TV. So in the third step, applying, you just go ahead and apply that information, that suggestion in practical. So you install the application and try to control the TV. And maybe you have to install multiple applications. It is all in the applying level. After that, you go to the analyzing. So what is the analyzing? Anyone can contribute in analyzing? Yes.
Analyzing and how to control the program in your mobile.
Yes. Find the result. You already installed the application. Then you analyze how the application is working. You installed, let's say, 3 applications, and 2 of them not working at all, and 1 application is working but is partly or partially working. So only just moving the channels, but not allowing you to control the audio or the voice. So you type in your result in the analyzing. The 5th step, which is evaluating, you make judgments about this information, about the accuracy, about the quality. Then finally you create the final solution in a critical thinking way. So this is a very easy example to follow while you wanted to solve a problem in a critical thinking way. You can apply any problem using Bloom's taxonomy hierarchy. Also, we will talk about these levels or steps later on. Let's start with the first step, define the problem. You clearly state the problem. For example, you say, I have missed 3 classes. So this is one example of a problem you need to solve. You gather information and interpret this information. You gather all the information you need to solve the problem. For example, you review the reasons and consequences of missing a class. After that, step 3, you develop and implement a plan, find a strategy, asking advisor, getting involved in group study. You find from the information you gathered from the previous step, you can have a plan for that. like the applying and analyzing step, the previous hierarchy, applying and analyzing is in the third step. The final step, evaluating the plan, which is in the Bloom's taxonomy hierarchy, was evaluating and creating. Think why this plan is better than the other option. For example, ask yourself, is this the best solution? Will you meet your goal by following this plan? Like the previous exam also would apply here, whether the application can, the specific application can follow the plan or achieve the goal to be an effective solution. These are the strategies of creating or solving a problem in a critical thinking way. Have a positive attitude. Always have this strategy to have a positive attitude, that your attitude influences how you solve a problem. You always say that you can find the solution. Never give up. Ask questions like the example of the remote control. You ask some friends, and some friends give you some suggested solutions. It is difficult to solve a problem without knowing all the facts and opinions of others. Be persistence, pay off. So always be persistent. Sometimes you will need a second or third try. Use creativity. Think in a new and fresh way. Also pay attention for all details. For example, when we were in the remote control example, you pay attention for small details, like you just contact the brand of the TV, and they might have a link to a specific application, or maybe you find other details in the TV. Maybe there are some hidden buttons in the TV you can use to control the TV. So all these small details you gathered in the step of understanding, gathering the information. Also see all sides of the issue, listen to all opinions. You might have to ask more than one suggested solution. Use reasoning, do not jump to conclusion. Yes, never just say the conclusion. You have to follow the steps of solving a problem in an effective way. Explore all options. 2 types of reasoning, inductive and deductive. We will discuss later. Be rested and healthy. Your health affects your decision. For example, in the TV situation, the remote control, if you are angry about missing a football match or anything, and you want to solve the problem very quick, that would affect solving the problem in a critical thinking way, in very effective way. So the characteristics of critical thinking, there are some characteristics. You can find these characteristics within this figure. The first characteristic is asking pertinent question and assist statements and arguments. Always be open-minded and seeks opposing views. Admits a lack of information. A critical thinker always admits the lack of information if there is some information is missing. Also, a critical thinker has the characteristics of suspending judgment and tolerate ambiguity. So always just wait till the final decision. Never make very quick judgment. A critical thinker do. Also, a critical thinker is curious and interested in seeking new solutions. Also, a critical thinker has the characteristic of clearly defines the criteria for analyzing idea. Always analyze the idea in a wider way. Also, a critical thinker examines beliefs, assumptions, also the opinions against fact. So always critical thinker examine against facts, opinions against facts. Reasoning, two types of reasoning: inductive reasoning and deductive reasoning. Inductive reasoning, generalizing from specific concepts to a broad principle. For example, generalizing an experience, having a bad experience with one math class, you might give a reason for that in inductively or in inductive way, that all math classes are bad. For example, in our previous remote control example, you installed one application, so the application didn't work with you because of the brand, for example, or any other reason. So you generalize the reason for that and have an inductive reason that all applications for remote control to control a TV are bad or are not working. This is the inductive reasoning, and it's not good to have a critical or the best solution. Also note that inductive reasoning can contain some errors, such as coming to conclusion too quickly. The other type of reasoning, which is deductive reasoning, drawing conclusions based on going from the general to the specific. Here there is an example for that. All men are mortal. Sami is a man, therefore Sami is mortal. So you can see there are some steps while generalizing or giving the reason, the final reason. Do not assume that the main premise is always true, because this is a suggested solution. So anyone can give example about inductive reasoning and deductive reasoning?
Yes, Mister.
Yes, go ahead.
Inductive reasoning is like when you have a bad experience from something. From, let's say, you went to an Indian restaurant, okay? And
Yes.
they served some food that you didn't like. You found it bad, not to your taste. If you did the inductive reasoning, you'd say all Indian food are bad. I don't like
Yes.
the Indian food.
What
But
about deductive? Yes.
If you were to do the deductive reasoning, you'll say maybe the chef didn't cook it perfectly. Maybe he missed some ingredients. Maybe they're not good at cooking Indian food. So deductive reasoning is not jumping to conclusion.
Okay. Yeah, exactly. Any other suggested examples? Okay, we go to common errors in judgment. There are some common errors in judgment that interfere with effective critical thinking. We already talked about them previously. One of these errors, stereotypes, which are the judgments held by a person or group about members of another group. Anyone can give an example of a stereotype? I assume most of you knew about stereotype.
It's like racism.
Yes, one of it, yes, racism about some race. Yes, it is unfortunately common error in the media also. All or nothing thinking. seeing events or people in black or white, all or nothing. Snap judgments, very quick decisions, projection to attribute to others some of your traits to justify your faulty judgments. So if you have a mistake, you just try to justify it to send it to others. Sweeping generalizations, apply one experience to a whole group or issue. Halo effect, to label a person good based on one or two qualities or actions. Negative labeling, which is focusing and identifying with shortcoming. For example, instead of saying I made a mistake, you say I am a loser, and so on. These are common errors in judgment to find a critical or a critical thinker solution for any problem. Creative problem solving. There are some strategies that used or you can use to unlock your mind naturally to be creative in solving problems. The first strategy, you expect to be creative, enforce your creativity, always enforce your creativity, always challenge the rules, try a new approach, use games, puzzles, and humor, have a fun. That would help you to refresh your mind and be a creative. Brainstorm, be free to express ideas to your study group, always speak, always contribute, be flexible, positive, and grateful. Collect ideas from others, ask questions, relax and trust. Never be nervous while you are trying to unlock your mind to think creativity. Support, acknowledge, and reward creativity. Always reward yourself, support yourself while you are finding a creative solutions. Allow failure. Failure is there. Sometimes it happens, and always accept failures, but try to find a new solution. Be disciplined and persistent. Be hard worker. Be consistent. Also, these are strategies for math and science problems. For example, make a model or diagram in math. It will help you to organize and visualize the problem. Draw, illustrate, and make tables, charts, or lists. It helps to organize the buttons, how the buttons are looking. Look for the buttons and connections. A pattern is a regular systematic repetition that helps you in prediction. Sometimes when you solve a math equation, you find specific patterns that always happening, always showing you while you are solving these problems that would help you to predict solution. Act out the problem, physically act out the problem, shout. Sometimes it helps in finding the solution. Simplify, solve related easier cases, find very simple cases first, then after you solve these simple cases, you can go in a level way. Translate words into questions, write an equation that model the problem, an example for that. Estimate, make a reasonable guess, check the guess and revise. For example, if we say Sami is older than Sarah, 9 years old, for example, but younger than Ali, 11 years old, then you can guess Sami is about 10 years old. This is the estimation strategy. Summarize in a group. Working in a group can help you learn. Take a quick break. It helps in refreshing. Also, there are some anxiety in math and science. To overcome this anxiety, do your preparation work. Take prerequisites first. Keep up and review often. Night before the exam is just for reviewing, not for learning. Also, be disciplined. Concentrate on your task. Stay in groups. Choose supportive environment. Have a positive attitude. Focus on positive feelings. Dispute the myths, the fears that are caused by myths. Sometimes there are some myths that affect people making their decisions. Ask for help. Ask your tutor, your group, your colleagues, and so on. These are some advices to overcome the anxiety of math and science problem solving. There are also some obstacles that can affect building better habits. Overcome obstacles, like for example, building a better habits. Use the power of habits. If you have a habit that always refresh you, or just that habit would help you to push the restart button. So to make creative routine behavior, start by reflecting on what triggers your creativity, what the trigger that would help you to start thinking in a creative way to do you a restart option. So for example, if you feel to be more creative when you go for an early jog, then jogging become your trigger. So early jogging outdoor is your routine. This is an example for a trigger. Feeling relaxed is your reward. So anyone can give an example of his or her trigger when they want to do some work or to study or to be a creative. Here in the example it says that jogging is a trigger for this example. So what is your trigger? Let's say, for example, watching a movie, for example, would trigger you to restart, to refresh you.
Actually, after I work so hard, I take a break and watch YouTube videos, like so.
Then you go back and work again.
Yes,
as
exactly.
fresh. Yes. So this is your trigger. What else? Can you students contribute with the discussion? Say a trigger that always would help you.
A trigger, does it mean the same treat yourself as a reward?
This is the feeling to relax. Yes. Then you start again.
Okay. Like after hard working, I treat myself with a coffee or a free time. Could
Yes. Taking a cup of coffee would be your trigger. Okay, that's good. Two examples. I assume I'm sure most of you have his own trigger. So we just finished chapter 5, chapter 6. Excel at taking tests. I'm sure most of you knows how to be excellent at taking tests. So in this chapter, just we will describe strategies for taking tests, identify ways to overcome test anxiety and obstacles. Taking tests is a part of a school or university. Performance reviews are part of any job. Also, performance reviews for applying for a job is a kind of a test. In this chapter, we explore some test-taking strategies that help you in both university and your career. We will concentrate on the test-taking strategies that you need to follow before, during, and after the test. Before the test, there are some strategies you can take a note before the test. The first one, start on day one, attend first class, set up review schedule that you can review the material, review the slides, and so on. No expectations. This is one of the strategies. A large part of fears comes from unknown. After attending first class, you will know about what is expected, course syllabus, test format, etc. For example, you can just go straight ahead in our course to the course calendar. You can know the expectations through the course calendar. Ask questions in class. If any point is unclear, ask about clarification during, at the end of the class, or at the end of the class. Keep up daily reading, setting up a schedule, review immediately after the course or after the class. You do a review, a quick review, just 5 to 10 minutes. Review weekly, another revision would help. 7, do a final review, do a major review a week or before the test. Practice test questions. Use memory techniques. Remember key terms. Create sample tests. Summarize. Use your study team. Work in a group, in a group study. Use all available resources, classes, learning centers, LMS, CLMS, ebook, for example. All these are resources. Assemble what you will need for the test, pen, calculator, and so on. Use technology, smartphone, tablet. Yes, that would help. During the test, the strategies during the test. In the exam, we have different types of questions. For example, multiple choice, true, false, matching, essay, and fill in blank. There are some strategies you can consider during the test. Read and listen to all instructions before you start typing anything. Write down key information. If you go through the questions, you can write down key information. Scan the entire test very quick. Check the weight of each question and allocate time accordingly. So you find questions that have more weight for marking. So you spend more time for these questions. Answer objective questions, then easy questions. Go from easy to difficult. Then essay questions. So you answer objective questions, the questions that you can answer them in one sentence. Then you go ahead to essay questions, which you need to express the information. You need to write an essay for that. Go from easy to difficult. Read each question carefully. In some type of questions, you may eliminate some choices. And finally, review before you submit the test. I'm sure 100% most of you already knew about these strategies, but just to give you a quick revision about these strategies. And as you know, in this course, you only do multiple choice exams, whether in the quiz or the final exam. So there is no essay in TU170. Anyway, after the test, you need to follow these strategies. When you receive the grade, analyze and assess, confirm your grade, determine common types of mistake, find your mistake, learn from these mistakes next time, review with your instructor, the lecturer, review also with your study team. We already talked about the trigger. Yes, cheating, overcome this is one of the obstacles. There is no excuse for cheating. It violates your integrity, erodes confidence, creates academic problems, increases stress, brings high risks. You might fail in the whole course, or maybe the whole semester will be dropped. Also, the final thing is plagiarism. Anyone knows about plagiarism? Can give a very short explanation about plagiarism, please?
Plagiarism is stealing someone else's work and not putting his name
Yes,
or the reference.
without a reference. So you have many forms. For example, copying part or full from anyone, including friends, classmates, and internet sources. Copying word to word without using quotation marks, without citing, paraphrasing by replacing few words. So all these types, all these forms are forms of plagiarism. How to avoid plagiarism? When quoting word for word, for example, quoting means copying part of the text for the purpose of presenting the author's actual words. To avoid plagiarism, use quotation marks. So if you take someone sentence or words and want to use it in your essay or in your assignment or in your research, you need to use a quotation mark and also citation at the end of the work. Failure to provide citation will be interpreted as plagiarism even if the source in your bibliography. So if you put the source as a reference, but you did not put the quotation mark, did not use the quotation mark, and you just copy the sentence, the word from the source, that would be a plagiarism. When paraphrasing, when you use paraphrasing should not include the words of the original text. So this is another type of referencing. The previous one, a quotation, you took the whole sentence or couple of words, but in paraphrasing, you took the idea and instead of the author's words, you express it in your own word, but it is still the author's, the original idea. So should not include the words of the original text, nor follow the same sentence structure. To avoid plagiarism in paraphrasing, use your own words to produce the idea. So you speak or type your the idea in your own words. That would read and avoid statements in original from without putting them in quotes. So this is the only difference between quotation and paraphrasing. Paraphrased information should be combined by citation. Also in paraphrasing, you need to do citation. You need to type the author's information in the bibliography section. To avoid plagiarism when citing a website, here an example of citing a website. You start with the website name, your published, year published, page title, online available at the URL for the source. For example, you can see the example. This is how to do a citation for a source in your work, whether in an essay or assignment, when your resource or your source is a website. But in books or other type of resources would be a different citation. But only this, we are talking about the website citation. Penalties of plagiarism. Plagiarism is an act of theft of intellectual property, and academic institutions are applying severe penalties to students whose works are plagiarized. Penalties can range from discontinuing the work, maybe the assignment, for example, you fail in the assignment, to failing the whole course, Refer to the following link to learn more about how to create bibliography, citation, and referencing using Microsoft Word. We used to have assignment previously within this course, but because of the Corona situation, we only now have the online activity and the quizzes. In the assignment, there is an exercise about how to do a citation, how to do reference. So you can just follow this link if you want to learn how to do a reference and do an example of that. You can send it to me if you want, and I can comment, give you a review about the citation. That's it for today. We finished the meeting. If you have any question about the lecture, the meeting, or anything about the course, the quiz, online activities, you just go ahead and ask the question.
Okay. Yes, Mr. Mansour.
Yes.
So the next quiz on Saturday will be on meeting 2, right?
Yes.
And the next one will be on this meeting.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. Oh, and another question.
Yeah.
Activity 2, what chapters will it cover, or what meetings?
It will be about meeting 2, which is, let me remember, I think is chapter 3 and 4. If let me open it now and show you which chapter. Yes, chapter 3 and 4. As you can see, let me do a sharing. Yes, as you can. This is meeting 2. This is the slides that you are studying for quiz 2. If you have any inquiry or you want to learn more about any of these topics, you just go to the electronic book or ask me through my email. You can find my email address in the LMS. Okay?
Yes, okay.
Any other question?
To make sure, Mr. Mansour,
Yes.
activity 2 on the smart book, electronic book, will also be on meeting 2.
Sorry?
The activity, number 2 activity on
Yes.
CLMS,
Yes.
will also be on meeting 2, right?
Yes, as you we just opened the calendar. Going back to the calendar to share to you the calendar. You can go to the course calendar.
Excuse me.
Yes.
Excuse me.
Yes.
Do we have a recorded video for meeting 2?
Yes.
Or just this live?
We do.
Yes, there is a recording for in the LMS.
Oh, okay.
You can go to the LMS and you can find. Yes.
The recorded video in LMS for meeting 2, there is no voice in it. It's only for the first 15 minutes. After that, there is no voice.
Okay, you can send me an email. I can share. There are some students, I think they upload videos of their lectures in their YouTube channel. And I can send you, or just now, just wait. I'm going to copy the channel for the lectures. Anyone knows about the lectures in the YouTube?
Which lecture, Doctor?
There is one of the students who recorded my lectures, and he sent me the link, but it was
Yes,
I think
me.
1
It's
week
me.
ago. Is you?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you recording all the lectures?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm
Can you
recording
share? Can you share? Can you type it in the chat? Share the link to
Yes,
your
1 minute.
channel.
Okay.
Doctor,
Yes.
can I leave the lecture or I should stay to the end of the lecture?
Yeah, just wait until I take the attendance.
Okay, okay.
Excuse me, Mr. Mansour.
Yes.
Regarding for the final, did this any news about it? It will be online at home or it will be attended in the university?
I'm not sure about it. You have to follow up the updates. They will send you any updates about that, whether it will be online or at the university or at any nearest center you can take the test. I'm not sure about their situation, but you will get an update for that.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, did you send the link?
Sorry, but I have a question.
Yeah.
Quiz to what the chapter?
Which chapter? You can go to meeting 2 and find the chapters.
Okay,
Meeting 2
Yes,
slides.
It will be 2 chapters, Doctor,
right
صح?
now.
Yes, 2 chapters.
Yeah.
As you can see, I'm sharing now. I'm not sure if it's working or not. This is the meeting 2 file, and these are the chapters. So this file you study and you refer to the electronic book. As you can see in the chat, there is the link for the YouTube channel. So everyone make sure that you type your name and your student ID. Some of the students, they didn't change their name and student ID. They need to change it because I'm going to take the attendant through the label, through your name and your student ID. Make sure that you type your name and student ID.
Do we have to type our names in the chat or?
No. Just the name you have. When you entered, you need to change your name. Most of you have their names and their student ID, but some some they didn't do that.
Yeah, they should enter as a guest and put their name and student ID.
Yes. Okay, then just type, everyone type their name and student ID in the chat. Once you type it, just you can go and leave the lecture.
Okay.
يعني في تحضير أكتب حق الرقم الجامعي.
Yes, just type your name, student ID.
بس أنا داخلة كاتبة اسمي وكاتبة الاي دي.
Yes, only student who did not change their name and student ID.
Okay.
Other students, they can just leave if they type their name and student ID.
Thank you, doctor.
دكتور.
Yes.
أنا معلش كنت في المحاضرة بس اللاب عندي فصل بالنسبة للتحضير يعني.
Now we are taking the attendance. You just type your name and student ID. If you have your name and student ID in your label, you just leave because I already having a screenshot of the student ID. It's okay. I already took the attendance for students who already logged in and have their student name and student ID.
Thank you, Doctor.
You're welcome.
Yes, thank you.
So I don't have to type my name?
Yes, you don't.
Doctor, and I can't open the smart book.
You can't open the smart book? Okay, I'm going to share a recorded video about login to the smart book.
Thank you.
Excuse me, shall we leave now, Mr. Mansour?
Yes, you can leave. Yes. Anyone doesn't have any question, they can leave.
Okay, thank you, and see you next meeting, inshallah.
Okay, see you, inshallah.
يلا باي وعد. Bye everyone. See you.
excuse me, there is no private chat here. So when you are speaking, everyone is listening to you. This room is only for discussion. It's not for greeting.
دكتور كذا خلاص توكل على الله.
Yes, you can go if you already has the student ID and student name. You can go.
Doctor, you're finished?
Yes, the lecture is finished. Just I'm trying to run the video for students who want to know how to log into the ebook.
طيب يا شباب كيف اكتب الاسم؟
خش على الشات في زي
دكتور can I leave?
Yes, you can leave. The student who doesn't know how to log into the ebook can send me an email so I can send the recorded video about the steps how to log into the ebook.
طيب شلون نخش على الشات؟
You're welcome.
Doctor, you mean I send message in your email?
Yes, you are looking for the video about the ebook?
No.
So do you have any question?
Yes, because I want to open the book smart book.
Yes, yeah, this is the smart book, the ebook. Okay, send me an email now. I will send you the video.
Okay.
بس معلش اكتب الاسم والشهادة صح؟
لا، الاسم ورقمك الجامعي.
The main dashboard for the course. Go to CLMS. Click on.
Doctor, I can leave now?
Yes, you can leave. Can you see the screen for other students?
No.
Yes.